This video contains a truth that has changed the lives of many people. If you are having health problems and have ever felt stuck, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment in the comment section so we can share useful knowledge together. Have you ever stood up too quickly and felt that strange rush in your head, like the room tilted for just a second? Or maybe your doctor's been watching your numbers and gently said, "We'll keep an eye on your blood pressure." You're not alone. High blood pressure sneaks up on so many of us as we get older. But the good news is, you don't need a complete life overhaul to get it back under control. Sometimes, the smallest changes, especially in your diet, can make the biggest difference. Now, I've been working in healthcare for over 30 years, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that most people just want to feel better. They don't want to live in the gym or give up everything they enjoy. They want solutions that are doable, affordable, and that work. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. This video is all about helping you lower your blood pressure after 60 through 5 simple diet changes. Nothing extreme, no expensive powders or pills, just real food, real habits, and real results. Whether your numbers are already creeping up or you just want to be proactive, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. What challenges are you facing? Do you already know your blood pressure? Are you on medications? Drop a comment below and share your experience. Your story might help someone else who's going through the same thing. And if you have any specific health concerns, mention those too. I always try to respond with helpful advice. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the first powerful diet change you can make, starting today. It begins with something you probably already know, but might not have realized just how big a role it plays. I'm talking about cutting back on salt, but not in the way you might think. A lot of people assume salt only comes from the shaker on the table. But the real culprit? It's hiding in places you'd never guess. Canned soups, bread, even so-called healthy frozen meals are packed with sodium. And here's the kicker: after age 60, our bodies don't handle sodium the way they used to. The kidneys slow down just a bit, and suddenly that bag of chips or takeout dinner causes your pressure to jump higher than it should. Now, I'm not saying you have to live bland. Far from it. In fact, once people learn how to season food with herbs, spices, garlic, lemon, even a splash of vinegar, it opens up a whole new world of flavor. You'd be amazed at how satisfying a bowl of homemade veggie soup can be when it's made with love and without all that sodium. Plus, your taste buds adjust pretty quickly. Within a couple of weeks, salty processed foods start to taste way too strong. It's like your body thanks you for the reset. Try this next time you shop. Flip over one label. Just one. Look at the sodium content. You're looking for items with less than 140 milligrams of sodium per serving. That's considered low sodium. And when you start comparing, you'll quickly spot better options. It's an easy habit that can drop your blood pressure within weeks. Now let's move to the second diet change, one that often surprises people. Eat more potassium-rich foods. See, potassium is like the body's natural blood pressure balancer. It helps relax blood vessels and flushes out excess sodium. It's the quiet hero that never gets enough credit. And no, you don't need to live on bananas. In fact, there are so many potassium-rich options that are perfect for folks over 60. Baked sweet potatoes, cooked spinach, avocados, beans, even a simple cup of yogurt. These foods help restore the natural rhythm inside your body, balancing the salt, easing the pressure on your heart, and giving you more energy throughout the day. Let me tell you about a patient of mine. Let's call her Ruth. She was 72, very active, but always struggled with high blood pressure. She didn't want to be on more meds, so we started small. I asked her to swap out her evening snack for a bowl of sliced avocado with a little lime juice and black pepper. That's it. Just one small change. Within 3 months, her numbers dropped from 148/88 to a steady 128/80. She was thrilled, and she never felt deprived. Sometimes it's not about taking things away, but adding the right things in. And that brings me to the third diet shift I'd love for you to consider: watching the added sugars. This one can be tricky because sugar hides in so many foods that don't taste sweet. Salad dressings, pasta sauces, crackers, even bread. But here's the deal: too much sugar messes with your insulin, causes inflammation, and makes your blood vessels stiff. And stiff blood vessels? That's a recipe for rising pressure. Cutting back doesn't mean no desserts ever again. It just means being smarter about it. Instead of that cookie in the evening, maybe it's a handful of berries with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Or a small square of dark chocolate, yes, dark chocolate, the kind with 70% cocoa or more. Believe it or not, that can actually help your blood pressure in small amounts because of the flavonoids. The trick is choosing quality over quantity. If you're someone who loves your morning coffee with sugar, try slowly cutting down by half a teaspoon at a time. Your taste buds will adjust and your body will thank you. And if you're feeling sluggish or craving sweets all the time, it could be your body asking for more fiber, more hydration, or even more sleep. It's all connected. Now, don't worry, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. These little changes, done consistently, can lower your blood pressure and even reduce your risk of heart attacks or strokes. You don't have to eat like a monk to live longer, you just need to eat like someone who wants to feel better every day. You see, once we start reducing hidden sodium in our meals and bringing fresh produce onto our plates, the body responds in ways you can feel less puffiness in the ankles, fewer headaches, and that inner calm that tells you your heart's not working overtime anymore. But that's just the beginning. Because next, I want to talk to you about something we don't often think of when it comes to blood pressure POTUS. Siam. Now, don't worry, this isn't a science lesson. You don't need to memorize minerals or track milligrams. But here's something powerful and simple. Potassium is your blood pressure's best friend. It works like a natural balancer. When you eat more potassium-rich foods, it actually helps your body get rid of excess sodium, yes. The same sodium we just talked about. It's like a cleanup crew sweeping out what your blood vessels don't need. And where do you get potassium? You don't need fancy powders or expensive supplements. You just need to reach for a banana, slice up a kiwi, roast some sweet potatoes, or toss a handful of spinach into your eggs. Even beans, yes, humble little beans are loaded with potassium and fiber, and they help lower blood pressure while keeping you full. I had a patient once, 67 years old, who swore he couldn't eat rabbit food. He loved his ham sandwiches and salty soups, but his numbers kept creeping up. We made just one change. He swapped his usual lunch for a salad with chickpeas, a few avocado slices, and a boiled egg. Within weeks, his blood pressure improved and he actually started to crave it. Why? Because the body remembers what nourishment feels like, and when it starts getting what it needs, it wants more of it. Now, let's take it a step further. We've tackled salt. We've welcomed potassium. But I want to let you in on something many people overlook, even though it's right there in the fridge: sugar. Yes, sugar. We often associate it with diabetes, not blood pressure. But here's the truth. Excess sugar, especially from things like sweetened drinks, pastries, and processed cereals, doesn't just mess with your blood sugar. It also increases inflammation and stiffness in your arteries, making it harder for your blood to flow smoothly. And that puts more pressure on your heart. I've seen folks who cut back on sugary snacks and sodas, without changing anything else, drop their blood pressure by 10, even 15 points in just a few months. Imagine that. No medication. Just by giving up the evening cookies or that morning sweet tea. You don't have to give up joy, though. That's something I want to be clear about. You can still enjoy sweetness, it just needs to come from better places. Like fruit. Berries are fantastic. They're full of antioxidants and natural compounds that help relax your blood vessels. A bowl of blueberries, or even frozen cherries in your oatmeal, can be both delicious and healing. And here's a fun little tip: cinnamon. A sprinkle of cinnamon can add sweetness without sugar, and it even helps with blood pressure regulation. Try adding it to your coffee or tea instead of sugar. It's the small switches that add up. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, well, I've already cut back on sugar, and I eat my veggies, let's move on to something that could truly transform the way your body functions, especially after 60, and that's hydration. Water doesn't sound very exciting, I know, but dehydration is one of the sneakiest causes of blood pressure problems in older adults. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. You might not feel thirsty, but your body could still be running low. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker. Your heart has to pump harder to move it through your veins. And guess what that does to your blood pressure? It raises it. So how much water should you drink? That depends on your activity level, diet, and health conditions. But a good starting point is about 6 to 8 cups a day. If you're not a fan of plain water, you can try herbal teas. Add slices of cucumber or lemon to your glass, or even snack on hydrating foods like watermelon, cucumber, and oranges. One woman I know, 72 years old, had been dealing with fatigue and dizziness. We thought it might be her medication, but it turned out she was only drinking 1 glass of water a day, if that. We increased her intake slowly, and within a week she felt sharper, steadier, and more energized. Her blood pressure evened out, too. Now, I want to pause here and just say every single one of these changes is doable. You don't have to do everything all at once. Maybe this week, you cut back on soda. Next week, you add some spinach to your breakfast. These aren't rules. They're gentle shifts. And the beautiful part, your body will reward you for every single one. So, if you've been feeling like your blood pressure is just a number that keeps going up no matter what you do, I want you to know it's not too late. You're not stuck. You're not broken. You have more control than you think. And if you're dealing with high blood pressure or on medication, I'd love for you to share in the comments. What's your biggest challenge right now? Is it salt cravings? Is it staying consistent? Let's support each other. You're not alone in this. Let's keep going because there's one more change. And it might be the most delicious and satisfying one of them all. Now, this last one might just be the most enjoyable change you can make. It's not about cutting things out. It's about adding something wonderful in healthy fats. Yes, you heard me right. Fats aren't the enemy. In fact, the right fats can actually help lower your blood pressure and protect your heart. They keep your arteries soft and flexible, reduce inflammation, and help your body absorb important vitamins and minerals. One of the best sources, olive oil. It's rich in something called polyphenols, compounds that support healthy blood vessels and calm inflammation in the body. People who use olive oil regularly, especially in place of things like butter or margarine, tend to have lower blood pressure, better cholesterol, and even better brain health as they age. Try drizzling a little olive oil on your salad instead of heavy dressing, or cook your veggies with a bit of it instead of frying in processed oils. It's not about going on a Mediterranean diet. It's about bringing simple, healing ingredients into your everyday meals in a way that tastes good and feels good. And let's not forget nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, they're full of healthy fats and magnesium, which also helps your blood vessels relax. Just a small handful a day can make a difference. You don't have to go overboard. Just a little snack that gives you energy, keeps you full, and supports your heart. That's a win-win. Avocados, too, they're creamy, filling, and loaded with potassium and heart-healthy fats. Add a few slices to your sandwich or mash it up on whole grain toast. It feels like a treat, and your body will thank you. What's powerful here is this: when you start nourishing your body with these wholesome, satisfying foods, your cravings begin to shift. You stop reaching for processed snacks and salty frozen meals, not because someone told you to, but because your body has finally tasted what real nourishment feels like, and it wants more of that. I had a gentleman in his early 70s who came in feeling tired and frustrated. He was onto blood pressure medications and still wasn't seeing much improvement. We talked about fats. He'd been avoiding them for decades, thinking it would protect his heart. I asked him to start small, add some walnuts to his breakfast, use olive oil instead of butter, enjoy a bit of avocado during lunch. In 3 months, not only did his blood pressure drop, but he also said something that stuck with me: I feel like my body is finally working with me, instead of against me. And that's what this is all about. Not battling your body, not feeling like you have to give up everything you love, but shifting into a place where your food helps you feel safe, steady, and strong. Let's take a deep breath here and really soak this in because it's important. Lowering your blood pressure after 60 isn't about strict diets or complicated plans. It's about a few simple shifts that you can start today right where you are, with the foods you already know and love. You reduce hidden sodium, add more potassium-rich foods, cut down on processed sugar, stay better hydrated, and welcome in healthy fats that nourish your body from the inside out. Each of these changes is small on its own, but together they create a ripple effect, They restore balance in your body, ease the pressure on your heart, and give you back something even more precious than numbers on a chart: peace of mind. You start sleeping better, waking up with more energy, feeling more stable when you stand. You stop worrying every time you see that blood pressure cuff come out. You begin to trust your body again. That's the gift of these changes. They give you back control without fear, without stress, without having to say goodbye to all the foods that bring you joy. So wherever you are right now in your health journey, whether you've been dealing with high blood pressure for years or you've just had a wake-up call, I want you to know it's never too late. You're not too old. You're not too far gone. In fact, this might be the perfect time to take the next step, and you don't have to do it alone. We're building a community here of people just like you who are committed to feeling better, living longer, and embracing every season of life with strength and purpose. So if something I've shared today resonated with you, if you've tried one of these changes, or if you're planning to, please take a moment and leave a comment below. What's one change you're ready to try? Or what has worked for you so far? Let's support each other. Let's share our experiences, our struggles, and our wins. Because the more we talk, the stronger we become together. And if this video helped you in any way, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more content that's made just for you. This is your space, your time, your health. You deserve to feel good in your body, to have energy, clarity, and confidence. You deserve mornings without fatigue, meals without guilt, and days where you feel steady, capable, and full of life. Here's to that version of you, the one that's thriving, hopeful, and not just surviving, but truly living. Here's to living your best life at any age.